Would you wear all your favorite hats at the same time? Well, we wouldn't either. That is why we suggest you use only what you need. Switch off all electrical appliances and lights in our newsrooms. Remember, use only what you need and save power today. Switch and save. Zesco, powering the nation.
Apple Max. Take it to the max.
Want to just get out of town with your friends and family? Are you having a corporate getaway and have no adequate transport? Then this here is what you need to listen to. A brand new 35-seater Yutong luxury bus is now up for hire at an affordable and negotiable rate. It comes fully equipped with aircon, TV for your relaxation, music soothing your trip, and DVD players to give you variety. Book now by calling 0955 0966 or 977 844 141.
What makes the new Yo-Yo Chipsy so unique? 100% natural ingredients. Nothing artificial. Just a pure experience of freshness. Chipsy potato chips. We know you'll love them.
Hey girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real, cause you look so free, so let's chill. Have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Your jungle.
Thank you so much for joining us to present the main news on Prime TV. My name is Daniel Tonga. We take a look at what is making the headlines. UPND's HH conducts a rally in Kasama promising to improve Zambian economy for all. NAREP working towards a responsive manifesto to the physically challenged in society. PF presidential hopeful Edgar Lungu vows to get back taxes owed by some newspaper once elected. And in foreign news, U.S. embargo delayed Cuban Ebola team's pay. These and other interesting stories after this. Now the news in detail. United Party for National Development UPND President Hakainde Hichilema has charged that PF never mourned the late President Michael Sata with dignity. Mr. Hakainde says the late Sata was mourned with pangas as seen from the division and infighting by the PF. He says PF and MMD parties have no presidents and the only party that is stable is only the UPND. Mr. Hakainde has stressed that once UPND is elected into office, mealie meal prices will go down, including paying all farmers. He was speaking during a UPND rally in Kasama, where many flocked to listen to the UPND leader. Mr. Hakainde adds that once UPND is voted into government, will improve the economy for everyone in the country. Meanwhile, UPND chairman for Rural Reconstruction and Development, Mono Mapani, has warned the Patriotic Front against taking the people of Zambia for granted. Mr. Mapani says issues of delayed payments of farmers have always made sad reading, as it contradicts with governments that claim of ensuring food security in the country. He has called on government to pay the farmers, as further delay would cause food insecurity as the farming season is on, adding that farmers do not have to observe the wind. Government has so far paid out 711 million kwacha to farmers who sold maize to the Food Reserve Agency FRA during the 2014 crop marketing season. A few days ago, government released 150 million kwacha to pay off outstanding arrears to farmers who sold their maize to the agency, but remains with 650 million kwacha.
We are now in rain season. The farmers have got no money to buy their inputs. When you say inputs, we look at fertilizer and seeds. And let's look at the prices. Now, if they are holding on to the farmers' money, where do they expect the farmers to get money for the 2014-2015 farming season? Please, Patriotic Front, yes, indeed, we all understand that you didn't know what exactly took place in the government, but you have to open your eyes and you have to sober up. This is not a time to joke around. The farmers need their money for them to continue living. They have children who are in school and they have no control over their health. And right now, for anyone to get any medical services that is befitting, one needs to have some money. But with this prevailing situation, I wonder where farmers will be getting their money for their medication. That alone, I've no doubt that the Patriot Front has an intention to send the people of Zambia early to the graves by denying them what belongs to them. I thank you.
National Restoration Party NAREP says it is working towards producing a manifesto that will be more responsive to the physically challenged in society. NAREP President Elas Chipimo says his party has numerous complaints of political parties favoring only able-bodied people. Mr. Chipimo says it is more reason why NAREP is working towards addressing issues concerning the disabled people and give them what they deserve. He adds that there is need to ensure ensure financial support in ensuring that materials for the blind are produced. Mr. Chipimo was speaking in an interview with Prime TV in Lusaka. He says it is important that the Electoral Commission of Zambia provides resources that will ensure information is put in a language that will be understood by those in rural areas.
Challenge we have had is being able to communicate in a method or using a mechanism that is able to be understood. So, in Braille and in the different ways of communicating with sign language, we have not applied sufficient effort in ensuring that the message is getting out to these people. And it's largely a cost issue. And I think that this could be one area where some support, when we look at the future of our politics in this country, should come in from Parliament when they pass the new constitution or new laws relating to how support can be given to political parties. Rather than just giving them money, they should be able to pay for services that can enable the delivery of the message in all the media that can be understood by those who are disadvantaged, like the handicapped or those who are deaf or blind. And I think that as we move into the next phase of the election campaign, we are going to see a situation where our messages, at least as NAREP, as far as NAREP is concerned, will be translated into the main local languages so that our manifesto is fully and clearly understood. So on Radio 1 and Radio 2, on the local media that enable communication of these messages in local languages, even on your own Prime TV, we will be putting forward our message in a language that the majority of the people in rural communities who may not understand English can understand.
Meanwhile, the NAREP president has commended the ECZ for coming up with measures that will ensure that any political party not abiding by the set rules will be ruled out of the elections. He says the appeal for peace during campaigns by the ECZ comes at the right time and that there is need for all political parties to abide by the rules.
That will always remain a challenge for the Electoral Commission will be how they can enforce a system that can ensure that we have transparent and free and fair elections. And I'm not talking here just about the day of the voting, but everything that goes into preparing for the big day itself. So, for example, media coverage from the public broadcaster. It's very important that steps are taken which are enforceable against any bias which is displayed by the public broadcaster.
When we take our first break, join us for other interesting stories when we return.
Would you wear all your favorite hats at the same time? Well, we wouldn't either. That is why we suggest you use only what you need. Switch off all electrical appliances and lights in our newsrooms. Remember, use only what you need and save power today. Switch and save. Zesco, powering the nation.
What's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
potato sticks, freaky fries. Get that awesome crunch.
Welcome back and other stories. Lack of drainages in the city of Lusaka has continued to put the city at risk of flooding. With Lusaka recording its first rains, most roads in the city have been submerged, making the roads impassable. A check by Prime TV around the city revealed that most major roads such as Freedom Way, Independence Avenue and Cairo were completely submerged in water, risking motoring. Patriotic Front PF aspiring presidential candidate Edgar Lungu has disclosed that once he is elected into office, he will ensure some newspaper pays back the money. Mr. Lungu says the money some newspaper has belongs to the people and he will ensure that it is paid back. He adds that evading tax by some newspapers should not be condoned because all the money belongs to the people. Mr. Lungu was speaking at a Mandevu rally in Lusaka today. He stressed that PF will ensure that the judiciary is independent and allowed to do its job professionally. Mr. Lungu says nothing will stop him from standing as the president because he is determined to do so.
I swear. So for me, I count it as a blessing. Nalichindika abantu bonse, nalichingana shamfumu shonse. Mailo nalikuba nenswa abalozi. I paid the courtesy on the Barosi Law Establishment, including His Majesty the King Litunga. I had a nice time with them. They were my parents, and they told me, continue being yourself. Just be simple and easy. God will award you. Umweo wanko kwa rawaba kwisa mukutwi so ine ndemla kwebati fidangu mfali onse efonga langu na kuntanshi na ngunga ku state house ngalami umfuira bantu ya magwanazi mwa boss onse no kuchindika sha mfumu kuino konjera ndapo nakula chindike sha mfumu walitunga nakula bachindika bampezeni nakula bachindika na bachitimu kulubere nakula bachindika icho nalanda bali ashira bachitimu kulu bantu kuli abantu bamo abale foku wonfia this thing as political capital bale batinga na isa kesa wesha bachifutu bachitimu kulu bufumu no mbandele keni mele kwinkama inga imo. When I was appointed SG, Secretary General of PF, I went to see the boss. I asked him about Wichitimukulu. Chikuru, the president. There Wichitimukulu finisha ni badile yo twala fungula buno So in short, PF has been trying to sort out the chieftainship of Chitimukulu for a long time. To remove wino. And the truth is that Chitimukulu bali no Shatlanda, what we can palace. They were put out long before this thing started. Number, they are desperate people. That's why they can come and cheat you.
Meanwhile, former president of Federation of Free Trade Unions of Zambia, Joyce Nondesimukoko, says the PF should be allowed to continue because the new government that might come might waste resources in forming government. She adds that PF should unite in order to ensure that it wins the elections. Ms. Mkoko was speaking at a Mandevu rally in Lusaka.
Ukutila tuleke ba PF batwalilile bantu ababalela ndati bakesa mukuteka bakatubwese shenguluma na mwishiba efe ba PF babombele mwebo bonse la mufimona aba bantu efe bakachita ngaba basala bakamba first ukula ipera ama positions bana bonse bo basalire bakambye okubafumya chose sho nimpia ababa kusyalo baba bwesha nimpia sheka ero pakuti bakambe ama by election pakuti bafule mu parliament nasho nimpia sheka ero balungu balifumya draft constitution yose bakesa tirenda la matapali kanchi banenga tamulefa tubwelele enuma mubombeshe bose okweba tubwekeshe tubike po balungu batwalirire imirimo y'aba PF lilyaba tata bamwana wasa batushire twatile awe na tuleke ba MMD batwalirire bapwishe na babene batwalirire bakuti tukese bachitaibali wetu wino eba na imwe bane ba PF ba Central Committee ba government ba minister ikataneni mune ufwana.
We now take our second break. Join us for more international stories and sports stories right after this.
Apple Max. Take it to the max.
What makes the new Yo-Yo Chipsy so unique? 100% natural ingredients. Nothing artificial. Just a pure experience of freshness. Chipsy potato chips. We know you'll love them.
Welcome back. Now in international news. Cuba had to cover food and lodging expenses for dozens of its doctors fighting Ebola in Sierra Leone after the U.S. embargo delayed payments from the World Health Organization, according to an official at the UN agency. Jose Luis Di Fabio, the health agency's representative for Cuba, told the Associated Press agency on Friday it had to request special licenses from the U.S. Treasury Department to transfer money to the doctors in Africa. The licenses were eventually granted, and the government-employed doctors only recently received payments dating as far back as October. Cuban officials in Havana did not respond to requests seeking a comment either. U.S. officials as high as John Kerry, the Secretary of State, have praised the Cuban efforts against Ebola. John Kerry, U.S. Secretary of State, has left for a series of meetings in Europe seeking to head off an end-of-year UN showdown over a Palestinian bid for statehood. His first stop on Sunday was to be in Rome, where he will meet separately both Sergei Lavrov, Russian Foreign Minister, and Benjamin Netanyahu, Israeli Prime Minister. Diplomats say negotiations on a UN resolution to revive Israeli-Palestinian peace prospects are making little headway, with Europeans waiting for a U.S. response to proposals. Jordan last month circulated a draft Palestinian text to the Security Council, setting November 2016 as a deadline for the end of the Israeli occupation. But the text ran into opposition from the U.S., which has veto power, and other countries that felt it lacked balance. Diplomats said it was never put to a vote. And finally, in sports, 3 Zambia national soccer team players were involved in a traffic accident in Kawe. Nyambe Mulenga of Zesco United, Changwe Kalale Power Dynamos, Sashmo Chakawa Green Eagles were traveling to Lusaka aboard a Zesco United club minibus. The accident happened near Green Restaurant in Kawe. The bus is said to have collided with a Mitsubishi Pajero that had lost control. The driver of the bus died, as did 3 others in the other vehicle. 3 players suffered injuries. And as we conclude our news, we take a recap of what made the headlines. UPND's HH conducts a rally in Kasama promising to improve Zambian economy for all. NAREP working towards a responsive manifesto to the physically challenged in society. PF presidential hopeful Edgar Lungu vows to get back taxes owed by some newspaper once elected. And in foreign news, U.S. embargo delayed Cuban Ebola team's pay. And that's just about what we had on the news. On behalf of the newsroom and the production crew, this has been Daniel Tonga. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye for now.
Hey girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real, cause you look so free, so let's chill. Have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Freaky Fries. Get that awesome crunch.
Would you wear all your favorite hats at the same time? Well, we wouldn't either. That is why we suggest you use only what you need. Switch off all electrical appliances and lights in unused rooms. Remember, use only what you need and save power today. Switch and save. Zesco, powering the nation.